What's up everyone? In today's video, we'll be looking at the Entitled Parents subreddit with toilet paper shenanigans and getting bitten by a dog that can fight bears? Let's get right to it. A buddy of mine's family runs a small convenience store / bait and tackle shop in the US, and I help out every now and then since I work at a gas station. Like 98% of stores, the shop is currently operating on a one toilet paper / paper towel item per family policy. My friend's dad, the owner, told me in person that no one is allowed to buy more than one per family. No ifs, ands, or buts. Cue the scene. I'm waiting out the last half hour of when I said I'd help run the store on my own, when Entitled Dad and Embarrassed Kid walk in, decked out in fishing gear. Entitled Dad grabs a packet of worms, some sodas, ice, and snacks. As he passes by the toiletry section, he grabs 4 packages of toilet paper. "I'm sorry sir, but store policy is currently only one per family." I call that out across the store, but Entitled Dad ignores me. He and Embarrassed Kid select a few more things and walk up to the counter. Embarrassed Kid is trying hard not to be seen, so I can tell he knows what's coming. "Sir, unfortunately, I'm only able to sell you one toilet paper package right now." "Well, why not?" "Due to the pandemic and shortage, our store is only allowing one TP item per family." "Well, there's no sign back there." Yes there is, sir." "Well, I know the owner, and he says it's okay for me to buy as many as I want from here." Embarrassed Kid has now retreated to the door, clearly wanting to leave and not be here. "You spoke to the owner?" "Yes, I did. Now, are you going to ring me up or what?" "The owner specifically said that you could buy however much you wanted?" "Yes. Can you please hurry it up? I want to be on the lake soon." "Sir, I know the manager didn't say anything to you because I would have known about it." "Are you calling me a liar? I'm reporting you to the owner the next time I talk to him." As I pull up my phone, I say, "How about now?" "What?" "Let's call him right now. If he says it's okay, I'll ring you up and apologize." Before he can say anything, the store owner picks up. "Hey Em, what's up?" Nothing much. I have an Entitled Dad here, and he says you told him he could ignore store policy on TP. Entitled Dad, can I have your name so I know who I told?" Entitled Dad's face breaks out in hope, thinking he's bluffed his way through this, and gives his name. "Entitled Dad, I don't know who the hell you are or what the heck you're talking about. I haven't told anyone that they could ignore store policy. By purchasing more than one, you are possibly depriving others that may desperately need the TP. And if you're pooping so much that you need more than one package, I would seriously suggest you consult a doctor, not just buy more TP. If you can't follow store policy like every other customer that's come in, then you can leave." Store owner hangs up. Entitled Dad has his mouth open in shock, while Embarrassed Kid is looking like all major holidays and his birthday are happening today. Entitled Dad shuts his mouth, stands in front of the register for a few seconds, shouts a final "F you," and storms out of the store, leaving all his items at the counter. Look, I understand the feeling of wanting to save a trip later, stock up on things while you're shopping. If you think you might need it sometime in the future, maybe you would want to buy some extra. It is scummy, but I'll even excuse you if you bring up the 4 toilet paper rolls to the counter in hopes that the cashier will forget the roll. However, in the middle of a global pandemic, where rules are set for everyone to follow so that everyone can access basic goods, you cross the line into entitled when you outright lie and become angry that people won't do what you'd like. It's good to see that the kid saw this guy being called out, and hopefully it helps him understand that behavior is not tolerable and grows up a better person than this entitled parent. So, this was actually on the news here. This happened in Rochester, New York. Didn't happen directly to me, but to my brother's girlfriend, Jay. So Jay is a nurse in the maternity ward. Basically, she helps women give birth. This was back in March or April, I believe, when people had only just started to realize coronavirus was the real deal. So one night, Jay is working with this one woman and the dad isn't there. Not at first. The new mom says he has symptoms of corona and can't come up. She's like, "Aight, that makes sense," and leaves it alone. And guess who wouldn't stay home? The dad faked some symptoms so he could pass hospital security, and he made his way up to the maternity ward to see his wife and kid. People found out and he got kicked out. He essentially put the entire ward at risk of corona. He could have killed his freaking child. The next day, Jay had a bad fever. She got tested and thankfully didn't have corona, but it was scary AF. Too long didn't read. Entitled dad sneaks into hospital to see newborn son despite having coronavirus and puts everyone at risk. With the coronavirus still being as major of a problem that it's been several months ago, it seems like a lot of people are forgetting the dangers of the virus, like this dumb, unfortunately new dad. It might be upsetting that you can't see your newborn, but won't it make you feel 1,000 times better if you make sure you're all better before seeing your child? Like, sure, you can see your baby, but you risk getting the baby, your baby mama, all the other mothers, and all hospital staff sick as well. My friend's grandma's neighbor had problems with predators, wildcats, weasels, and rarely foxes or other dogs. So she bought a Turkish Kangal, a big dog sometimes taller than humans with a painful bite and a real problem for bears. Yes, the Kangals are actually strong enough to fight a bear. After she bought the dog, no sheep or chickens disappeared. Some of the sheep had a few scratches, but nothing serious. I heard that some of their neighbors were jealous because they didn't have the chance to get a Turkish Kangal. One day when their neighbor was grazing the sheep, a woman tried to grab the dog. She didn't notice how big the dog was. The dog felt like it was attacked and knocked her back. She slipped and fell on the grass. The dog ran back to the neighbor and the woman started screaming. "Stop screaming, weirdo. Who gave you the right to grab my dog?" "I want the dog for my kid. Plus, this isn't your garden to graze the sheep here." "This garden belongs to no one. I have the right to graze them here." "No, you don't." "Just go away." "Not before I get the dog." "You won't." "Just give it to me." "No." Entitled kid comes over. "Mom, did you get the dog?" "No, this rude woman won't give it to us." "Because it isn't yours." "Listen there, you better give the dog to us or we will break your head." This is a Bulgarian insult, kinda hard to translate, I guess. "If you even look at the dog, I will break your teeth and wear them as a necklace." Damn. "Just give us the dog to avoid conflict." "How about you go away and tell your father the next time he has sex with your mother to wear a condom that doesn't have a hole in it." That's it. Entitled kid knocks a neighbor over, and she fell on the grass, and entitled mother tried to grab the Kangal again. The dog started barking a lot, and so the entitled mother gave up and started running, and the dog chased after her. The dog finally got to her and bit her hard, and she screamed very loud. After everything ended, the entitled mother had to go to the hospital because she got an infection after she didn't clean the part where their dog bit her. The sheep were scared of the entitled mother's scream and started jumping around, and one of them ran over the entitled kid and he fell into the sheep's poop. I was also ran over by sheep once, and trust me, you do not want to get run over by a sheep. It's very painful. First of all, hands up if you didn't know how ruthless Bulgarian insults were. As a pet owner, I can only imagine how angering it would be to see someone try to steal your pet from right in front of you. A bite from a dog that can fight bears? An infection being trampled into sheep poop? Hopefully they don't try that garbage ever again. So I live near a bike path, and since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been biking it a lot. It's about 10 miles long and it's skinny, so not big enough for too many people. Of course, other people are also there. Yesterday, I went out for my bike ride and I saw this kid biking with an SUV in front of him like an Escort. They were going the opposite way, and when the car saw me, the person inside told me to go off the path so they could go by. Now, listen, there's no way that cars are allowed here, and it is clearly marked so. Every intersection of the path said no cars, and there were poles blocking the path. She must have just pulled around them somehow. I confronted her. "Pull over, I'm coming through." "You can't drive here. It's a bike path, not a road." "I'm escorting my kid so he doesn't get hurt or kidnapped. Move and stop blocking my car, idiot." "Then bike with him, don't drive in front of him, endangering everyone else." "Just get out of the way. I'll run you over if you don't." "Nervous some people. You should just go away." I'm calling the police if you don't stop driving on the path." Fine, I'll pull off at the next road. You don't have to be rude about it." I pulled over and let them by, but I followed behind them to see what they did. A road came by and guess what? She just kept going. I was really mad now, but I just waited. Another road came by and she went by again. I decided to just call the cops and see what would happen. I told the person on the phone where we were and they said someone was coming. We were near the cop station, so someone was there at the next road. The cop pulled in front of them and told them to pull off. I was far away, so I just sat back and watched her. She gets out of the car and starts yelling at the cop. The cop tries to calm her down, but she got so mad she slapped the cop. The cop grabbed her and put her in the car. He then said something to his radio and another cop car came and took the kid away. I left at this point, feeling happy that I got some justice. Wow, that's another level of stupid. You couldn't close your mouth when the officer pulled you over and you had to assault a cop? As far as I know, that's a pretty serious crime. With how trigger happy she was with her hands, hopefully the kid hadn't been abused at home. Well, now he's in better hands. Okay, back in elementary school, we had story competitions. Whoever wrote the best story won like a $100 Indigo gift card. For all those who don't know, Indigo is a bookstore. I believe it's Canadian. Canadians represent. Anyway, so there was this kid, let's name him Marcus, who always won every single competition ever, and he was a rich kid coming to school in a BMW while the rest of us took the subway. So in 5th grade, we had one of those story competitions, and the subject was hope, so Marcus wrote a speech about hope, not a story, a speech, and still got second because the speech slapped. But it was that, a speech. And since he got second, he started crying and screaming while throwing a fit, and his mother threatened to sue the school. She didn't. Then she started to scream at the kid who won first because she didn't deserve it and was a little B, and tried to grab the gift card and medal out of her hand. The school called the police and she was arrested. Not sure if she was charged though. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mummy was writing Marcus's speech and got butthurt when she didn't win. I'm pretty sure there was someone like that in my middle school, and it's pretty apparent when you hear the difference between an adult's and a 5th grader's writing. Thanks for watching today's video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and please leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see me cover. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.